Yeah, hi friends. So we are back for the second podcast of our channel Cricket Blitz, and today we are gonna discuss about a legend who is gonna hang up his boots the upcoming week. Jimmy Anderson, a veteran of English cricket, a big seven for the last few years, but he has decided to call it his time after this Lord's Test against the West Indies. And so we have two of our guests, Abhishek, and a new guest in Shubhradeep. So now I will want to ask Abhishek that is it the right time for Jimmy Anderson to step away, or should he have continued a bit more for English cricket?
No, yes. So first of all, good evening, everybody. I think yeah, it's the right time for Jimmy to step away. I think it should have been 1 2 years ago only because as we have seen that in England, apart from Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad, the bowling hasn't been able to take wickets, especially in English conditions and also in overseas conditions for sure. So with Jimmy Anderson setting up the tone for youngsters to come in, and various and many people, young, talented players are still there with the likes of Robinson and Ollie, Potts. I think it is the right time to say goodbye to international cricket and what a servant
Yeah,
he
I
has been
think
to the
maybe
yeah.
one thing that the English team kept in mind was the Ashes down under in 2025. And in that point, I will also like to ask Shubhradeep that what do you feel that England should now try with the new guys? And if so, who are your potential replacements to fill in the big boots of James Anderson and Stuart Broad?
Yeah. First of all, I don't think Anderson should have retired at the moment. To be honest, there is not much experience in the England team in the Test side. Obviously, once Stuart Broad said, "Thank you very much. I'm going off in the London Test for the last Ashes." There is no much experience left in the tank. So for Jimmy to say goodbye, actually, it's not Jimmy himself said goodbye. It's actually a tap on the shoulder from Ben and Rob, and I don't have any understanding why this kind of decision has been designed or have been planned. To be honest, um, first of all, it should have been in Manchester, the last Test match. Burnley, he is playing for the Roses for a long, long time, and you heard Malathan Lyon speaking on the importance of Jimmy Anderson during this last county game, playing for the Lankey, and he said that it's absolutely bizarre to see Jimmy Anderson going away. He's fit, 42, bowling fast, bowling you 7 overs in a spell, giving you 25, 20 overs in a day's play. What do you want more? And for me to understand the kind of planning for Ben, Rob, and Baz, to understand the Ashes thing, it's not the first time they're gonna going to Australia for the Ashes tour. And no matter how much they kind of pick fast bowlers and kind of plan for 2 years in an Australia tour, unless the batsmen score runs, it's not going to be easy for them. So with Jimmy Anderson to go, there won't be much experience in the side. There won't be any bowler who will be economical in a morning session. There will be time when Markwood would go for some pace batteries, some bouncers, some gas, and you need some economical overs from the other end. You just can't let the run flowing from the other end, and that won't affect the batsmen. So for Jimmy to do the job, and there will be reverse swing in some of the games. I think there will be a bit of a day-night game in Adelaide in the Ashes. So you need Jimmy
Yeah.
Anderson, and his experience is so much vital. So I don't understand the reason why he's going up. First of all, secondly, it should have been Manchester rather than Lords playing for. So he has given England so much cricket, and it should have been a little bit more. Had not Stuart Broad said thank you very much, I would have understand the decision. But once he said thank you, the only experienced player you have in the tank is Jimmy. So you should have gone with him. Obviously, it's a decision of the captain and coach and the director of England cricket. Now, once he said it, Jimmy has said no issues. He will continue playing for the domestic for Lanky. Now, you said about the potential players. I don't see many potential players. Most of them are injured, to be honest. Ollie Stone is injured, but he could be a good fast bowler in the trip if
Yeah,
he
Ollie
gets.
Stone is there. I think Matthew
Yeah,
Potts, he played a couple
Chris
of
Vokes is
tests
still
in
there, I
the
think.
2020 season. Sorry,
Chris
Abhishek.
Vokes is still there. Chris
yeah.
Vokes.
Yeah, Chris Brooks, I think he has made it clear that he's not going to play much cricket
I think
outside
he won't
England.
go. Yeah,
Yes, but he will be helpful
yeah. So
in
he
those
has made
English
it very
conditions.
clear.
Yeah, on English conditions, he's
For
pretty
English
much an
conditions,
asset.
yeah.
We saw in the Ashes also he can contribute with the bat as well. But outside England, he has pretty poor stats, and I don't think at this stage of his career he's going to make any more improvements
Correct.
in that facet of his game.
They have a good bowler. I think the future bowler is Josh Tongue. If he remains fit, he's a
Yeah,
good bowler.
Josh
Bowls
Tongue.
nice. Josh
Robinson
Tongue.
is
He
also
bowls.
there.
I don't
Robinson
think
again. I mean,
Robinson. I don't
Robinson.
understand in Robinson. He bowls like Stokes. Stokes bowls faster than Robinson, so he's slow kind of a bowler. I haven't seen any bowler bowling off spinner.
Yeah,
You
even
are
Robinson can turn into a spinner. England need a spinner as well.
yeah. I mean, he was marked by the domestic player playing for the Sussex game, the last
Yeah, he was
domestic
at
game.
for
So
some 42 runs in county cricket, I guess, in 1 over.
Yeah,
bizarre.
pace is the
God,
issue.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the issue. And there's another guy I'm really fascinated with. That new guy, the Dalian Perrington. I think he's from Notts. He's a
Yeah,
great guy.
Dylan Pellington, I guess. He has
Yeah,
been called up for this series.
he's another guy from Essex. Oh, what's his name? Sam Cook. Sam Cook is a very good bowler. Tall, gets some bounce. He has some
Yes.
pace in him, and he's slim, so he can get some. It's a bit tall, so he can get some lanky bounce on those Australian pitches. Especially, obviously, when you're tripping to Perth, you need some pace. And Markwood obviously will be there, so you always have that one guy. But Markwood can't play
Yeah,
five
but
matches.
Mahmood
I
is
think Jofra
another guy
Archer
who
will also
won't
be
play
there.
5 matches. He can
Yeah,
play max
Jofra.
three.
Jofra
Yeah,
Archer is
Jofra
Jofra,
also
is
there,
that's
I
a big
there.
think.
question. He was good in the T20 World Cup, but now, is he fit enough to
Yes.
play 90 overs cricket?
I think management will be very,
I think
very
he is fit
important for
enough
him.
because it took a long time to rehabilitate, just like Jasprit Bumrah. And once he's fit, I think he should be allowed to play test matches also.
Well,
Yes,
I
I
think
think
it will be
England will be
important.
sweating on Jofra's fitness.
Yeah, it would be important that how they manage themselves, and obviously you have to see that there is a Champions Trophy. There is a once I think
Test
the next
championship.
asset is yeah, there will be Champions Trophy. He will play there. He will play no sorts of test matches in the English summer. So how they manage themselves, obviously coming from a big injury is important. How do you manage your
Yes.
bowlers? You don't want to give with him 20 overs or a 7 over spell in a kind of short time just to break him down. So Joe Federer's walk, Mark Wood's walk will be happy, but at the end of the day, for the bottom line for me is the unless the batsman score runs, it's impossible to beat Australia in Australia. You see what happened in India. They scored runs. Pujara scored runs in 2018. Brahane scored runs in Melbourne. Pant scored runs in Brisbane. Pant scored runs in
Gabba.
Sydney. Ashwin stood there. Bihari stood there. So it's all about the batsman. Unless the batsman score 450, 400 runs, the bowlers have
Shubman Gill
nothing
was
to do.
there, 91 at Gabba.
Shubman is there. Yep, Shubman was there. So unless the
Yes.
batsmen
Yeah.
do something with the bat, the bowlers can't do the job. To be honest.
Yeah, so now that the legend has decided to hang up his boots, let's have a recollection of some of his achievements. I mean, asking both of you first, we'll go to Abhishek. A couple of fond memories of Jimmy the Goat from your
Yeah.
perspective.
So yeah, every time he was like in English conditions, he was awesome. Like be it Lords, be it Nottingham, anyway you place you name in England, he has some
So, any
exceptional
particular
record.
spell which,
Yeah,
any
I
particular
remember the
spell
Lords.
which,
You can call it the versus New Zealand at Nottingham, the Lords 2018 versus India, the Lords Test match 2017 versus West Indies. Those were some excellent spells which he bowled. But the main question which was raised by him is his ability to bowl in Asian conditions, which he proved later on in his stages of his career, like in 2021 in Gal, where conditions were much suited for the spinners that traveled
yeah, I will
into
always maintain that. I mean, in England, his records, no need to make any analysis of it, but it's
exactly.
always the spells
We
outside
all
England
yes.
that he has bowled, be it Gaul 2021 or maybe in Chennai also
Chennai
when
very
that
troubled
one
Shubman
over
Gill
where he
and
bowled
Ajinkya Rane.
Shubman Gill
Exactly.
and Ajinkya Rane both off
Ajinkya
stump
Rane.
uprooted, and
In
then he
that
got Rishabh Pant with a cutter.
hmm,
And then again, I think even on those dead wickets at Pakistan when
Pakistan,
he
exactly.
bowling in that 2022 series.
When Ben Stokes decided to retire, like declare at the first test, he and
Yes,
Robinson bowled a terrorist spill. And I remember one ball to Rizwan, which he bowled. It was a pitch, even that at that
yes.
age. So that ability which he developed with his experience to bowl on those subcontinent tracks speaks volume of his determination towards the game and how he molded his skill at later stages of his career, which many bowlers does is not able to do.
Is also one more moment which not many will remember is when Jimmy just showcased his batting skills against India. That 81 run innings at Trent Bridge, I
The
guess.
dull boring pitch
2014, I think
Yeah,
2014.
it was
partnership with
10
Joe Root for
2014.
the 10th wicket. I think some around 100 plus partnership, and that match went on to a draw. So that was one example where Jimmy just showcased his batting skills, not something which we get to see much from the GOAT. Also, Shubhadeep, any fond memory of Jimmy Anderson?
Well, you have guys already mentioned those two deliveries, one to Rizwan in Karachi and one to Gill in Chennai. Those were great balls. I mean, the question was obviously on Jimmy was whether how good he was in Asian conditions, whether he's what they used to call him Clouderson, huh? He
Yes,
proved it
that
that
was
he's
the
not
common term.
Clouderson
Yes,
guy.
yes. Clouderson.
He
Yes, yes.
used to, yep, he used to have that great skill of at the start of the career when Jimmy used to bowl in 2004-5. It's always about outswingers. Later, he developed the in-swinger delivery. And
In
when a
swinger.
bowler, as a fast bowler, you have that both outswinger and in-swinger delivery, and you're also good at your straight cut, and you're playing in English
Hmm.
conditions. You are absolutely incredible with the ball in hand. So those two deliveries are great in my understanding. There's another delivery in 2006. Obviously, I wasn't that much old enough to see Jimmy Anderson, but I've seen some of the videos footage. That ball to I think it was Yusuf Wahana or Muhammad Yusuf, whatever you can guys can
Yeah,
call him.
Mohammad Yusuf,
2000,
I guess.
yep,
Mohammad
Yusuf
Yusuf.
Wahana, 2006. It
That
was. I
series,
think it
Yusuf
was
was the
in.
beast. I think. I think
Yeah,
three, four
and he bowled
hundreds. I
one
think.
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one delivery that pitched on the middle, and it took the top of off, and that was in 2006. Jimmy was just 3 years old in his international career. One thing we also have to remember in Jimmy Anderson is people say he plays red ball cricket too much because he's not good in white ball cricket. That's wrong. That's rubbish. Jimmy is still the highest ODI wicket taker when it comes to England cricket. Second
Yeah.
is
Yes.
Darren
Around
Gough, and then
270
Adil
wickets. I
Rashid. So
think. Yeah.
he knows how to bowl with the white ball. And there's another point I want to finish off is when you talk about Jimmy Anderson, we also talk about his bowling figures. There is another moment being at number 11. There are many times when he gets left standard. You remember the 2014 Sri Lanka Test match in Headingley. There was a time
Yeah,
when he was needed
55,
to defend
55
five,
balls he defended, and then he got out in the penalty
and
minute
then he
ball, I
got
guess.
out a penalty with ball. Oh my goodness, he was in tears. He coming to the man of the match presentation, and Mike Atherton just asked him how was the feeling. He said, "Oh, why did you ask me the question?" So he was in tutters. He was in tears. In the same year that lost Test match, I think you guys remember, he was run out by Jadeja in Lords
Yeah,
the
Yes.
last
Yes.
day. So those are some of the moments. I mean, you will find himself sitting on his haunches and he will be in tears. But Jimmy Anderson going for me, I have watched him so many times. I've followed his career so much, and for me, the upcoming week will be so much emotional. See Jimmy walked out for the last time, standing there, and as I said, it should have been Manchester. It should have been Manchester, walking from his Jimmy Anderson and bowling for the one last time.
yeah. So I think that's enough for today. Just a couple of days before the final test for Anderson comes up. Hope he once again puts up such a spill, and wishing him all the best. Also, a big round of thanks to both our guests and the viewers who are watching this video. We will again come back with some great video. Just keep loving us and supporting us. Please like, share, and subscribe. And that's it,
Yes.
I guess. Thanks and bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.